First group is off.
Heart rate monitors are not a requirement for team time trial events. Part of the rules. Confirmed.
So if we don't like it, we can take it off?
Up to you. What do we got? Minute and a half?
2:20. I'm going to take it off, Ron. I don't like looking at my heart rate.
No worries. I'll try not to cough, but I can't get to the Discord mute button fast enough sometimes, so I do apologize in advance.
Well, for you, a little under, too? Are you sick these days, Ron?
Little, yeah, the 2 races today just compounded it. Out of the pen, let's hit 5 watts per kilogram, and then worry about getting ourselves into a pull order, and then we might settle in, and then we'll just settle into what our goal is, which is 4.8 and 48 kilometers an hour. The first section, that's what our target is speed. It's not necessarily watts or watts per kilogram, but if you feel that you're being burnt out because of the speed, you gotta let me know.
Okay. 4.8 and 48.
48. Yeah, 48 kilometers an hour is the bigger thing. 1 minute.
And so it's the idea, I think go behind Frank for the first half of his pull, and he's giving a minute, and that way Rob doesn't have to be second wheel for a minute and then take a pull.
Correct, and he'll ramp up at about 15 seconds before the start of his pull. He'll need that extra ramp up time just to get in front of you, let alone get in front of Frank.
Rob, if you feel like I'm crowding you out while you're in second wheel, just make sure to be vocal about it.
Okay.
Okay. And Ron, you can tell me when you want me to go into second wheel. If we're going to do that, or just try the 30 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, because Vince is going to need another bit of a break too before he pulls, right?
Yeah. You just tell me where to go.
10 seconds.
7.
Ramp it up, and hopefully this isn't too confusing. Okay, let's get out of the pen and find our pull order right away. You're now on the clock. Really focus on that straight line. It'll help a lot. We're at 30 seconds. Somebody's being crowded out of second wheel. Just be careful there, Rob.
I'm coming up.
Rob, start pulling forward. Vince, just ease off into that third wheel spot.
Rob
5
ramping.
seconds. Rob and Frank are going to do a swap. Ease down and ramp up. Try and hold for 15 seconds. And then Frank, finish your ramp down.
Okay. Coming down.
Vince, you're up in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Ramping up, Vince.
Rob easy.
Pike, find yourself in second wheel, followed by Dustin and Rob. Frank, do get yourself behind Rob, because you may end up having to get into second wheel. In 10 seconds, 5 seconds, Pike start ramping up. Dustin, hold that wheel.
Oh, like 50, nice.
Okay, Dustin, start ramping. Pike, just hold on to that second wheel as he goes by and allow Frank to slip in there.
Are we not going on Dustin's wheel?
You are. I'm getting you behind
Okay.
Frank for a second so that you can be in third wheel. Dustin, how long do you want this pull?
Like, oh, fuck.
We have 30 seconds left on Dustin's pull. In 15 seconds, Rob, you're going to start ramping up into second wheel, and Frank, you will drop back to third.
Okay. Rob just put a power out.
I got dropped here. What the fuck's going on?
He's 5 seconds back. He's powering up. Okay. Change of plans, Frank. You are moving up into first wheel.
I'll get back
In
to
5 seconds.
You guys coming on?
I'm coming up.
Yeah, Rob's coming on.
Go ahead, Frank. Go ahead, Frank.
Coming on. I'll keep it a little lower so Rob can get on. He's on. He's on.
Rob's on. Vince is moving up. And Vince is in second wheel. All right, let's form a line and get Rob into third wheel. Just a touch off. Just a touch off, Pike. Let him in. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, 15 seconds. Those of you in the back half, be careful on this one. Rob, start ramping up. Vince through and take over the lead from Frank. Frank, just sit in the middle for a second. Stay there. And now ease back. Watch the back rider. There's a little bit of a gap between 5 and 6 that you could probably fall into. It's closed. 10 seconds. And Vince in 5, ramp it up. Nice job, Vince. Rob, you can start coming back. Pike. You should be second wheel by now.
Yep.
In 5 seconds, Pike, ramp it up. Vince can ramp it down. Dustin, follow Pike. And Frank, follow Dustin. Anytime you guys gotta tell me something, don't hesitate. 5 seconds, let's ramp it up, Dustin. Frank on your wheel, followed by Rob. Easy, Frank, allow him to pull.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're coming off in 5. Rob, I need you to ramp up, second wheel, and then take over from Rob. Frank, follow Rob now in second wheel.
Stop ramping.
Dustin coming off.
Unlock the
Good job, Rob. just a little off of our speed pace. Our goal. 5 seconds. So do be careful, Robert and Vince. Frank is ramping up.
Bob Houston.
Follow that wheel, Vince. Good job. Sorry. "30 seconds left in this pull. Vince, stay on Frank's wheel. Frank is going to drop back to second position behind Detmer. 15 seconds, let's ramp it up. Ease off just a touch. Here comes Robert. And he's up front. Hold this position, Frank. Vince, get in a little extra recovery behind Frank when you can, okay? Frank, you can continue to drop back since Vince is in front of you. Everybody else, you gotta make sure you stay up. 10 seconds. In 5. Ramp it up, Vince. Pike, let me know how you're closing the gap.
How about it?
"15 seconds. Okay, Pike, start ramping up. And Vince, you can start coming up. Stay on his wheel, Dustin. If at any time you start to overpower Pike, just go with it. Okay, Dustin, go ahead. Frank, follow Dustin.
Yeah.
And Robin behind there. Okay, 5 seconds. Rob, I need you to power through. Frank, follow Rob.
Oh, but that's it.
Vince and Robert, watch out in that third,
Yeah.
fourth wheel position.
You got it, Vince.
10 seconds to Frank. In 5. Frank is going to easily ramp up. Vince, watch out. Great job, everybody. "30 seconds.
You got 5 seconds on the front.
Lots of race still, unfortunately. But that's a good thing. 15 seconds. Rob, start ramping it up. Robert. And Frank, you can start easing off. Vince, stay behind Frank for about 15 seconds. Just get in a little more recovery. All right, good stuff. Frank, you can drop back. These rollers will play a little bit of havoc, even though they're small.
Please for ramping.
Pike, watch out for Vince. You got to get in behind him. Good job, Robert. Again, at any time, if you feel that there's a gap or you feel like there's going to be a gap, let me know. 15 seconds. 5 seconds. Pike ramping up. Dustin following the wheel. Watch in the back there, Robert. Let me know how you're doing. "15 seconds for Dustin. And Dustin, start moving forward. And pull Frank along with you. Should be Dustin, Frank, Rob.
Bob Ramping.
We are mobbing a little bit, so go right ahead, Rob. Frank, follow Rob. Vince and Robert, just be careful here. 10 seconds, Frank. Might need you just to hold a bit of a steady pace here. Make sure everybody stays together. Ramp up, Frank.
Yep. No.
Vince is on your wheel. Robert's in third. Try and settle into that third wheel position, Robert. Otherwise, you're not getting any draft effect. 30 seconds.
I got in here, I'll go.
20 seconds. Robert, start easing your way to the front. Frank, just feather it off a touch, and Vince, stay behind Frank.
Up.
I think it's done.
Robert is up front.
Oh, we sang it.
Dustin is having some troubles here. Dustin's falling back. I need you to drop back and see if you can pull Dustin back in.
Okay. Take a second stop.
No, don't worry, Dennis.
Dustin is off.
So, it's okay.
1 minute pulls, 1 too many. Okay, let's tighten this up a little bit. We've got some rollers coming up as we get to the aqueduct. It's a single rider. There's a single rider in front of you. Let's not get gapped by him. Stay nice and tight. Long pull up front by Vince. I'm going to need Pike to take over. Okay. Dustin is not with us. Robert, you're up next for 30 seconds.
Robert, you can't go 30.
So what?
Need a break.
So all right.
We're hitting the climb.
Millar,
Okay.
just hold the pace. We're going to mob any of these little inclines. Still got a little bit of an incline, then it flattens out. Frank has moved up to the front. FYI, Frank, I'm not seeing watts per kilogram for you, but I am seeing that you are got a 20-minute peak of 298 watts.
Alright. That's okay.
Okay. Okay, you guys, here comes the KOM. Just stick together.
Steady, yeah.
Stick together, and then we'll form a line at the top. Your 20-minute average is now 295. Okay, Vince is going to take over. Pike, try and get into that mix.
Oh.
Tighten up the group a little bit as we descend. If you are the fifth rider, I want you to power yourself to the front. Coming around this corner, we'll start with Millar to push. Help tighten up the group, Millar. Everybody else just hold steady until Millar gets there. Now Detmer. Get to the front. Get to the front. Pike, your turn. Frank, your turn. And Vince, your turn. Close that gap. Move to the front. Stay attached, Pike.
I'm good.
Okay, we're about to flatten out, and we're going to get ourselves back into a line. I'm just going to start with the first person up in the front. It's Millar. Millar, Frank, Vince. Sorry. That's right. Millar, Frank, Vince.
I'll go to the top.
Pike is on. Okay, hold it there, Pike. Rob, you were fighting this one, so when Pike comes off, I'm going to get you to come off as well, because we've got a gap forming.
You want me to go on?
Yes, Frank. Frank at 20. Vince, follow him.
Yep.
And Detmer, if you're still doing this, if you're still got it in you, let me know.
I got it.
This is the last little flat section that we have, and then we start getting into some bumps. "30 seconds left on Frank's pull. Pike and Millar, you guys have to watch out here, because when we do the shift up at the front, it kind of pulls a little bit. 15 seconds, Detmer is going to start ramping up, and Vince and Frank just feather it off just a touch to let him get up there.
Right, coming on?
Hold that second wheel, Frank. Hold that second wheel, Frank.
Yeah.
Okay, and then Vince, let's move you in front. Frank, as you're cruising in the back there, just keep an eye on Pike and Millar. They're looking fine right now. Try and find a line. When there's only 5 of us, it's very important that we have a line. Okay, Vince, we're going to get you to start ramping up.
Ramping.
We've got a small little gap, 2, 3.
I go with Pike. I'm good. Hard right on your wheel though. Second wheel.
It all smooths out. It all smooths out. Robert, you are good to drop in behind Frank. watch the gaps. We got a switch coming up. We're about to hit some rollers here again. These rollers will impact us. Just work with it as best you can. Pike, when you ease off, just be careful, especially if it's on an incline.
Coming on.
Frank is moving up to the front. Vince and Robert, be careful with those wheels up front. Pike and Millar, it is okay to settle in. I'm missing one rider. Where's Detmer?
I'm right here on the back.
Easy. We're all here.
Okay, we're all here. I'm just not seeing you in my leaderboard.
Hi, Frank. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, we mobbed again. So let's see if we can pull out a little bit of a line here, even through these little rollers. We got to get to the big bumps at 21 kilometers. So we got 3 more kilometers of these small rollers.
I don't know where I'm at now.
That's okay. Nope, let's just worry about where we're at. So Pike is at the front right now. Vince, you're still there, but allow Rob to move in front of you. Rob, I'm going to get you to start working to take over from Pike. And Frank is coming up as well. Okay, so Frank, when you do get by Vince, you're just going to hold his wheel again.
Okay.
Careful in the back there, Pike.
Rob's off.
Rob is off. Frank is coming on. And then Vince, watch his wheel.
Getting mobbed.
We're going to start pulling this apart. If we can get Vince just to close the gap a little bit more. There we go. 3 meters, 2 meters, perfect. A little bit of a descent coming up, but then another roller. Looks to be a good line. Okay, Robert, be careful you're not burning the matches when you start picking up the speed here, but let's get you back up front.
Okay, Frank season.
Frank's coming off, Robert's up there, and Vince, I'm going to get you to move in front of Frank and Pike. Robert, if you can, see if you can stretch the line just a touch. Perfect. Pike, try and find a spot inside the out of order. Nice job.
And cramping.
5 seconds. Vince is coming on. Pike's moving forward. And Robert, just easy. Make sure you drop in behind Frank right away. Right away. Right away. Don't ever stop pedaling. Get over this crust, Robert. Nice line, everybody. 5 seconds. Okay, Pike. Pike and Robert, let's see what you guys can do to stretch out the line just a little bit. It is tough on these rollers, without question. Where you see the stone arches off on the right-hand side, that's the start of the first climb. Rob's coming off.
On
Oh,
off.
sorry, Rob's going on. Rob's going on. Sorry, Rob's going on. Frank is on his wheel. 10 seconds, Frank.
Yeah, no. Bobby, you can. Okay.
Rob's coming off. Frank and Vince are up front. Everybody's got to be careful though, because we're 1 kilometer away from, actually less, so 500 meters from that first little big riser. There is 3 of them. You want to stay 5 strong up and then power our way down. Watch the gaps, Spike and Rob. Good job. Perfect. Okay, around this next corner, we go up to 4%.
Okay, coming up.
Last little bit, be careful coming off. Okay, we're more or less flat now, and a small little descent coming up. From the back of the pack, power your way to the front. You can build up a little bit of team speed that way. Okay, we're about to go up again. Here's the up. Here's the bigger kicker on this second hill. Okay, get to the crest, and then we'll start worrying about powering our way through from the back of the pack. Here's the crest. If you're at the back, just try and get me a little bit of momentum in your cadence and dig into the front. Good job, Pike. Millar, you're next. Good job, everybody. Detmer, stay in there. Get everybody to the front. Washing machine effect is the best way to do these downhills. Okay, last climb coming up. Should only be about a mile out, 1.6 kilometers. Watch yourself, Rob. Small little gap up at the front. You want to stay together. When we come around this corner, there's a van on your right-hand side. It's downhill. Do the washing machine effect. Power from the back, and then get ready to sprint. We're almost done. Power from the back. Millar, Pike. Frank. Detmer. Good job. Watch the gap 2-3. Close it. Detmer, Pike, and Millar. far. I need 4 across the finish line. We're going to turn this right-hand corner, and it's going to be full on. Get in there, Vince. You've done a hell of a job so far. Let's get into the top 4. All 5 of you. Who's going to be top 4? Push, 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 push. Around this corner, you can see the banner. That's all you've got left. There's 3 others needed. Push from the back. Come on, Detmer. Push from the back. Rob, you too. Let's go. Push from the back. Come on, come on, come on. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Get in there. Nicely done. Unofficially, 32-36. Just a fraction off of where we wanted to be. Spin out the legs.
That's my fault. One minute forward.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, Dustin. Sorry about that, Dustin. Okay, everybody spin out the wheels. And Dustin, let us know when you cross.
Oh, 4.0 in the middle.